Now, good afternoon, Phillies fans. Welcome back to the Fightins Finals Sunday edition here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Your boy, Matty B, back on the call and finally back in the win column. I don't think I've had a win in the Fightins Final for a minute. Have I? What was the last win I had? I don't know. But today, the Phillies, 6-0. Back-to-back 6-0 wins, back-to-back shutouts, back-to-back pitching dominating performances by Sanchez yesterday and Wheeler to a little bit of a lesser extent today. Did not go to distance. Backed with enough offense. Today was more of a perfect blend of small and home run ball. You know, this is what the offense is supposed to look like when it's working well. And you come out of Pittsburgh with the sweep, the second series sweep of the season for the Phillies, and their 8th series win, and they're back over 500. So all was forgiven. All is right in the world now. No more. 9-19 is a distant memory, and it's great to be back here on the program this afternoon. Again, our Sunday edition of the Fightins Final, which means, yes, that is right. We are heading down on the Phillies farm today. Check out the minor league system a little bit later on in the show. But we're going to get into this game here because this is an impressive series win. I don't say that much, especially this year. But this was a interesting series win for the Phillies, especially the way it kind of went. Friday was a game where a month ago, in that type of game, that they lose it probably 11-3. Right? They don't have the heart or the muscle or the interest to fight back in that game. But Friday night they were able to chip away at a Pirates team who's not good. I mean, you know, let's call for what it is. The Pirates are not that good. They're a younger team that has some potential, and Connor Griffin and Paul Skeens and players like that, but they are still years away from being a legitimate playoff contender. And that's if they can hold together the young stars they have now without losing them in free agency or trading them away, as Paul Skeens has been rumored to be on the trading block for a couple years now. And he probably will continue to be a rumor about being traded. So the Pirates are not a good team. They're not your brother's Pirates or your dad's Pirates, which would be my Pirates, which they stunk back then. But they're not a good team, but they're a young team that's been playing well, and they've shown signs of life, and they've shown signs that they can battle, so to speak. So the Phillies, though, were in what they were coming into this series, and really, again, a character series win, and I'm very impressed, and I'm very happy that everything seems to be back to normal, which now means we are game over 500. The season starts now. We're 1-0, but it was an impressive win today, 6-0, an impressive series sweep as well. So great to be back here today on the show. Bring out the broom, as Star Wars says. Only the second time that we could say that in 2026. Friday was a comeback win. Yes, I know it was. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Complete with traffic cone pylon hijinks. I watched the game, Star Wars. I'm aware that they came back on Friday. And again, as I said, and I think this is what you're alluding to, I don't know if the Phillies 3 weeks ago to a month ago come back in that game. I don't think they do. I don't think they would have the interest in. Elephant says you got to love the sweep. You got to love any sweep. You got to love any sweep, and especially let's talk about today's headlines. Let's talk about the game's headlines. Zach Wheeler, thoracic outlet surgery syndrome. Is that what it's called? I don't want to disrespect the people that have suffered from that and have fought back from that. Is it safe to say that Zach Wheeler has put that in the rear view and he is now pitching vintage Zach Wheeler? Is it safe to say that? I would, this is not the first start he's come back. And matter of fact, he's pitched well in every one of his 5 starts now since returning from the IL. It's good to see that we could put that in the rear view because I believe that's been career killers for some players throughout their time. So, but Zach Wheeler today, obviously, when you factor in what Sanchez is and you factor in what Lazardo can be on most nights, and hopefully you get a little bit more from Painter, it makes the Aaron Nola stuff a lot more easy to swallow. I know it's not easy to swallow the situation with Aaron Nola, and that'll be something we're going to be whining about all season long. But when you can have pitching performances from Wheeler the way he's pitched and the way he can pitch and the way he's, Cy Young perennial candidate Zach Wheeler, it makes everything else a lot more focused. And as you move down the stretch through this season, and hopefully they can figure Nola out. I don't know any more about the Nola thing Your guess is as good as mine when it comes to him. But when you have the 1-2 punch of Wheeler and Sanchez, and you can get something from Luzardo, because I look at this from a standpoint of a 5-game, 7-game series. I'm not looking at this anymore. I've stopped looking at the Phillies in the terms of every fifth day. I don't really care. They can continue to win series the rest of the way through the season. They're going to go to the playoffs. So to me, it's always about how this pitching rotation would match up in a 5 or 7-game series come October. And if you're getting the type of performances you're getting from Sanchez and Wheeler, and then you sprinkle in Luzardo on most days, and then maybe Painter rounds into something there, and you have a whole plethora of pitching options to pick for number 4. It makes me feel a lot better about this rotation as a whole, right? But he was absolutely on fire today. His line for the afternoon, 7 very, very strong dominant innings, 3-0 now on the season, 4 hits, scattered 4 hits, the walk, 8 strikeouts, 98 pitches in those 7 innings. The Brandon Lau home run thing. Listen, about that play where the fan reached over and interfered. Well, I guess they're not calling it interference. I don't know what you call that. Because if you call it interference, the batter should be out by interference rule. But I think that's what it should be, honestly. If you want, now granted, I know it'll probably cause a bloodbath in the stands if you did that, but like the whole Bartman thing out in Chicago, if you reach into the playing field, right, the batter for the home team should be out. Now, if it happens for a road team, it should be an automatic home run. And that would stop it. That would stop the shenanigans in the stands with fans reaching over into the playing surface. Putting the runner on second, that's a lazy out, man. That ain't trying to figure something out. That's just trying to like get by it. But if you want to make it more stringent, if you're the home team when it happens, you're out. And if you're the road team, if it happens, we're circling the bases. Just my 2 cents worth. But that was really the only mistake he made from the entire afternoon. And with Sanchez. Okay. We sweep 2 times in PNC Park in 2 years. Yeah, I think it's the first time since 2022 or something like that they swept them out there. I think it's safe to say that Wheeler has been great, and the velo climbing back is a great excuse for optimism. It is. What did he hit 98 at one point in today's game? And if you factor in what Sanchez can bring, and you factor in what Luzardo can potentially bring on most nights, and then you factor in what we hope that Painter rounds into, again, when I'm looking at this thing, because I don't ever look, I don't look at it anymore every 5th day. I look at it as a playoff series. How does it stack up in a 5 and 7 game series? Alec Bohm did have a great day defensively too, man. He was also making some plays out in the field. This is an awesome ride right now. It is 15-4, is it now under Mattingly? What is that? What's the stretch here? 15-4? Yeah, 15-4 under Don Mattingly since taking over as manager. Dombrowski has to go all in at the deadline. Disagree. The hell does that mean, Broad Street has to go all in? Explain to me what all in is. I hate hearing that. I hate when people tell me that. Got to go all in. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean, all in? If they change that rule, I would get the Mets season tickets and interfere whatever I could. No. You misunderstand. You didn't hear the whole thing. If you did it to the Mets, it's a home run. Right? If the Mets, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I you know what? But and that's what I'm saying. They would never change the rule because of that. It'd be a bloodbath in the stands. People would be killing each other up there. But something's got to be done with stop putting your hands over in the playing surface, man. Has Bartman not taught us that doesn't work out well? Get the bat we need. Win it all, dethrone the Dodgers, and save baseball. So that's what the Phillies are doing? Is that what your overall aspiration for the Phillies this year is to win it all, dethrone the Dodgers, and then baseball? Are the Phillies winning the World Series going to save the labor crisis in baseball? I don't think so. Marchand is the only player below 200. He's a part-timer. It's what needs to happen. I disagree. I'm never all in. Man, See, this is the short-sightedness of a fan base that's so deprived of championships. So deprived that you guys want to sell your souls, man, for one. What about a dynasty? Are we not able to have one of those here? Do certain moves got to be made? Absolutely. Am I for certain moves being made? Absolutely. 100%. But I don't even know what all in means. What does that mean? Trade them all? Every single player in the minor leagues gets dealt? I mean, you can't logistically do that, but I mean, I don't think there's anybody that's unprotectable or untradeable. For the right price, everybody's tradable. But when you say go all in, what do you mean? Give me the actual trade proposal. I think a lot of fans would be happy to see the overrated. So, Broad Street, man, you're making no sense, brother. You're going to call a team that, you just said it, the overrated Dodgers, not three-peat. So you're telling me a team that's overrated is on the way for a three-peat? There's no such thing. The Dodgers are not overrated. You're not the back-to-back defending World Series champions looking for a three-peat. You're not overrated. Okay, I'm sorry, man. That's a contradiction in terms. They are not overrated. They are a very good baseball team with the hardware to prove it. I was not satisfied with the 08 title. I wanted more, and I did too. But this was another. Now, this was an example of holding on to players too long, right? Listen, you got to break a couple eggs and make an omelet. I get that. But I'm never one for mortgaging the future on the instant gratification of the day. I'm not, because I've seen it. You know, we win one and then we slip into irrelevancy for 25 years. That doesn't do anything for me. Like, it's been 18 years since 08. You know, it's coming up on 20 years since that World Series year. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm all in. What is all in? Why don't we just create and build a good organization from the ground up, and then make the trades that you have to make in order to tweak the roster? This team is not a World Series winning roster right now, and I think we need to understand that. They're not. They are back to being what they were to start the season. Now things are happening and things are moving, and we're at a peak right now. Now we're going to hit a valley again at some point. What they do with that valley is unknown, but Sanchez, 3 scoreless outings. Yeah, he hasn't given up a run. 3 score. Dude, what are you talking? How did they destroy the game of baseball? How did they destroy baseball? By being the smartest ones in the room? By deferments? Anybody could have done that. Anybody. Matter of fact, the Dodgers are innovative. I don't like the Dodgers either. I ain't gonna sit here. They didn't destroy the game of baseball. They did not destroy the game of baseball. Oh, you know what? So did the A's destroy the game of baseball when they introduced analytics and Moneyball? The Dodgers were smart. I wish we could do stuff like that. If you want to go all in without going all in and giving up the farm, then do it the way the Dodgers did. That sounds like a bunch of sour grapes, man. Sounds like, I hate to say it, because I don't know you from Adam. I hate to say it, man. Sounds like a whining homer. It really does. I don't know. They got to win this year because Wheeler is probably not pitching next year. Why isn't he pitching next year? Is it because there won't be a baseball season? He's under contract. So Topper was the issue. And that's another great point, too. Because lately, again, I resonate back to the two different types of comments. One, the Nick Castellanos comments at the beginning of the year when he went to San Diego and said, you know what? It's good to be out of the organization that's being run by a non-player that used to play in the game of baseball or play a major league player, right? And then you had the 3 separate times that Harper made comments during the beginning or right after they fired Topper about we were just waiting to see what the organization was going to do. You may have something there. And my own personal theory was, honestly, I don't think this team ever respected Topper. I think they acted like a bunch of insolent children around them. They kept pushing their boundaries, and Topper kept letting them do it. So they kept pushing it again and pushing and pushing and pushing. And then when there was no accountability and they began to lose, they blamed the manager for their problems, right? Essentially, it is Topper's fault. And I honestly thought at the end of last year, I think everybody on that team united was probably ready to move on from Rob Thompson. And when they brought him back, I think that might have pissed off the team a little bit. So was it Topper's issue or was it the player's issue? Or was it a combination of both, depending on how you look, what side of the mirror you're looking from? Obviously, Topper was the commonality there. I'll kind of agree with you. Easy, let's go sign all-stars at every position. Easy, let's go. Yeah. I thought it was retiring. I haven't heard anything about him retiring. I was a Topper guy, too. Really? How could you be a... Huh? Man, you're losing credibility left and right with me today, man. A Topper guy? Most teams could do what the Dodgers do if they could keep most of their TV money like the Dodgers. It's not even that. Listen, Philadelphia is the same type of market that LA is. They just have a different way of doing business out there. I ain't going to sit here and cry because the Dodgers were able to sign Ohtani for whatever it was and then push all the money to the back end. No, it's genius. Because you want to milk the situation. Know what that has gotten the Dodgers? Has gotten them 2 World Series, possibly a third one. I would sign up for that. A three-peat. That's called a dynasty. And actually, we are in the Dodger dynasty right now. No, man, that's ridiculous. But he didn't hold anyone accountable. I don't think he held anybody accountable. Not a damn person. Good afternoon. How you doing, Robert? Good to see you. 4 runs on small ball, 2 runs on long ball. Yeah, but it was a perfect blend, wasn't it, Star Wars? Both were the problem. But you know what? You might. Again, it could be depending on what side of the mirror you're looking in from. Ohtani gave the Angels a chance to match the Dodgers' offer, and because you know that why. Were you inside the negotiating room? Bullshit. I'm gonna call bullshit on that. He wanted out of the Angels as soon as he could. Bullshit. Unless you could bring Shohei on here. And we'll talk to him and we'll ask him personally. Man, if you hate the Dodgers, that's your business. That's fine. All right? You hate the Dodgers, that's fine. But don't sit here and say, oh, they destroyed baseball. No, because you're just feeling a little bitter about it, right? And you're better than that, man. You're better than that. We're better than that. If you want to beat them, then beat them on the field. Do better than they are. Sign better players. Have better options, better deals, better ways to get players. Don't just blame the Dodgers for ruining baseball because they came up with an innovative way to save money or to defer money. Doesn't your boy Howie Roseman defer his ass off when it comes to isn't Howie doing the same thing, essentially, but with the Eagles? Don't give me that nonsense, man. Don't give me that nonsense. Because you're better than that. You're absolutely better than that. Oh, man. He read it. Well, then it must be true. The Dodgers bankrupt deal that allows them to keep most of their TV revenue is actually a point of contention in the upcoming CBA. Well, they worked the system, you know. I hear you. It's great. It's my birthday too. Well, happy birthday, Robert. How old are you going to be if I can be that bold to ask? 5 in 1 week. 5 in 1 week, absolutely. All right, let's get back to this thing because I don't want to get into this nonsense back and forth about the Dodgers. Dodgers are a great team. Back-to-back World Series. How can you be overrated and be working on a three-peat? How is that even possible? All right, let's go to the box score. Phillies 6 runs on 8 hits, no errors. Pirates 0 runs on 5 hits, no errors. Offensive standouts for the Phillies. Where do we begin? Let's begin with Alec Bohm, 2 for 4. Has been really swinging a really hot bat. It's over 200 now. Working on a 210 batting average. Brandon Marsh, 1 for 4. Bryson Stott, 2 for 4, including a home run. 3 RBIs for him today. And then you got Harper was 1 for 4 with the big another monster home run to center field. So let's kind of roll the dice, and I'm going to give Bryson Stott my offensive player of the game honors because he has just been another player that's sort of turned it around since the firing of Rob Thompson. And had the big home run, had a big hit earlier in the game. Listen, once you got past the Skeens effect, once you waited them out a little bit, I mean, that's the perfect way to attack Skeens because you know the Pittsburgh offense is really not a quick strike type of thing. If you can keep the Pittsburgh offense down, which should not be that hard if you have a good pitcher, which they did today in Wheeler, and you can just work Skeens and work counts. That's how you beat a Paul Skeens. You work counts, man. You drive up the pitch count. you get them into that 80 plateau around the 6th inning, and you try to hold out, right? And hopefully your pitching does the job, keeps you in the game as well. And that's what the Phillies did. They waited Skeens out, and it definitely paid off in the later innings. Of course, in the 5th and 6th inning is when the big offensive barrage began. But that's how you beat Paul Skeens. You're not going to beat him on first pitch, first inning. You're not going to do that. You got to wait him out and hopefully work some counts. Hopefully he's foul some balls off. Be smart. Sacrifice some at bats for long pitch counts in order to drive up his pitch count. And that's what the Phillies did pretty damn good today, offensively. And then when you do have opportunities, you got to get creative on the base pass, which the Phillies tried to do today. So this is definitely a good win because of the pitcher that they beat. Not necessarily because of the team they beat, but the pitcher that they beat. So, but Bryson Stott, my offensive player of the game for his 3 RBI day. For the Pirates, your offensive standout for a team that only managed 5 hits. Let's go with the, I don't care. You want to go Connor Griffin because I like Connor Griffin and I'd kill for Connor Griffin. 1 for 3 today, 262 batting average. A good young player, but Phillies kept him in check most of the series. For the pitching matchups, we talked Wheeler already. Let's talk Skeens. He went 5, 6 hits, 5 runs. They were earned, a walk, 7 strikeouts, and a homer. 92 pitches through 5 innings. That's what beat Skeens, right? That's what beat him. They got him up in that mid-80 plateau in the 5th inning, and then from there, they just jumped on top of him. And matter of fact, I think it was the Bohm hit to center field where he kind of was like a line drive that just died in front of O'Neal Cruz out there. When I saw that pitch come, I knew Skeens was gassed, man, because that ball was up and just hanging up there. And Bohm actually should have hit that thing about 400 feet, but he didn't. But they had Skeens on the ropes at that point. I could see it. And that's how you do it. That's how you beat him. And Skeens was, again, not bailed out by his offenses. They did nothing for him. Matson, Ramirez, Santana, and Lawrence also pitching for the Pirates. Skeens absorbs a loss, 6-3. And again, Wheeler gets the win, 3-0. Bolin and Banks came in and pitched scoreless in relief. The scoring summary in that 5th inning where it all began for the Phillies, Crawford would ground out the shortstop with the infield in. The Phillies got aggressive with the ball to deep short, or to short, the left side of short, or the left side of short, sending Garcia. And it worked because Crawford hit it enough to that left side to pull Griffin enough further back where they got Garcia was able to score with the infield in. Does he score with Rob Thompson? Does Rob Thompson get that aggressive on the base paths at that stage of the game? But to Don Mattingly's credit, he did, and that ground out would drive in Garcia to make it 1-0, and then Turner then the barrage would begin. Turner would knock in Real Muto to make it 2-0, and then in the 6th inning, Harper with a 401-foot home run to make it 3-0. Stott would double in Bohm and Marsh to make it 5-0. They left some chicken on them, or some meat on the bone, though, I thought, in that inning where they could have gotten some more, but they weren't able to. I was a little disappointed in that. But in the 8th, a little bit more of insurance. Bryson Stott with the home run to make it 6-0, and that is your final score. The Phillies would go 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They left 5 on base. The Pirates were 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. They also left 5 on base, and that is how you get to 6-0 as the Phillies get the series sweep over the Pirates, and they will come home now and face off against Ohio. The entire state of Ohio is coming to Philadelphia next week. First the Reds, then the Guardians. So there you go. 62. Damn, Robert. Yeah, it's not old. I'm not 62. 62. Isn't that Social Security eligibility? Ooh. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday. I give him credit for working that deal. That's pretty savvy. Yeah. Broad Street, I know you're a better team than we are a better team than hitting. Dusty Dwaffam did good yesterday. Yeah. Dusty is 1-0. Yeah, and he can stay 1-0 for all I care. Reds going to be tough. It's going to be a fun series. Yeah, no. Reds are a playoff team from last year. I don't think they're that good. I think the Phillies are a better team on paper. But again, we don't play this game on paper. So yes, it's going to be an interesting series. And it's an important six-game stretch. 3 of the Reds, 3 of the Guardians. Then after that, they go out west to play the Padres and Dodgers. So this is an interesting 6-game get here for the Phillies. They got to get as 5-1, 4-2 is what I'm looking for this week we got to have another big week because I need to kind of plus up those wins heading out to San Diego and LA for the real test, in my opinion. That's the test I'm waiting for, is San Diego, LA, on the road, back-to-back, West Coast trip, especially coming out of the Guardian series because I got to fly to San Diego Sunday night to play a game Monday with the change. That is what I want to see. This is what I want to see the Phillies react to as they head out on the West Coast next week, because that's metal, right? That's character. That's how this whole season is judged on. Wheeler was awesome. He was most definitely awesome. San Diego, they can take. Dodgers going to be the real test. I mean, I think they're both going to be a pretty good test for this team, honestly. Honestly, I think they both will be, but you're right. All right, so let's hit now with our Broad Street bottom line. All right, my Broad Street bottom line here on the show today. Before we get that, it's brought to you by the kind folks here at the It's a Wrap Sports Network and at the Fighting's Finals, creators of such segments like this one, the Down on the Phillies Farm segment, which will take us through the all levels of the Phillies minor leagues. That'll be actually coming up here in a bit, a little deeper into the show, as every Sunday we do that, whether I'm here or not. I created this segment. I've been pretty much driving it for 5 years or 3 years now, but I'm not going to be here every Sunday. This is not going to happen. I got a life to lead, and I got things coming up that are going to take me away. So other people are going to have a crack at this, but the segment will happen on Sunday, rain or shine or Matty B or no Matty B. That's definitely going to happen. So, but today it's going to happen. So that's what this show is brought to you by today. And also, I have to also mention this episode of the Fighting's Final is brought to you by Big Al's Excuse Emporium. You know, we partnered with Big Al's Excuse Emporium about 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years in June. And it's been a very, very good partnership with Big Al and the Excuse Emporium over the years. And we just want to take a couple seconds and sort of identify and acknowledge Big Al and the great folks over at the Excuse Emporium.
Live from South Philly, where every loss has a reason, every collapse has an explanation, and every quarterback is still elite. Welcome to Big Al's Excuse Emporium on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Woo! Sunday meltdown, phones blowing up, birds lose again, but they still show love. Too much snow, refs were bad, coordinator change made the whole team sad. 3 and out, but they scream relax. Defense cook, man, just watch the stats. Quarterback misses wide open throws. Bro, he's top 5, everybody knows. Green Kool-Aid overflowing tonight. Every excuse ready, left and right. No accountability in sight. Just turn the mic up loud. Welcome to Big Al's Excuse Emporium, where the blame gets flipped around. If the season crashes, burning down, they'll still defend the hometown. Big Al's Excuse Emporium, fresh excuses every week. Need more weapons, need more luck. Next year's when we peak. Penalty flags all over the screen. Doesn't matter, bro, we're still elite team. 7 losses after 4-0. Just a phase, man. Trust the flow. Talk radio, chaos, everybody yelling. Postgame space is absolutely melting. Big Al laughing with a cheesesteak plate. Selling playoff dreams at a discount rate. No excuses? We don't do that here. Need another reason? Aisle 5. Quarterback debate? Aisle 6. Blame the weather? Aisle 7. Coaching staff collapse special? 2, 4, 1. Welcome to Big Al's Excuse Emporium on the It's a Wrap Sports Network show, where every bad throw gets defended and the standards stay real low. Big Al's Excuse Emporium, South Philly's loudest sound. If the team keeps falling apart, we'll still say, run it back. Next round. You've been listening to Big Al's Excuse Live from South.
Yeah, so I want to thank the good folks down there at Big Al's Excuse Emporium. We've been partners since 2024, and here's to another 2 great years. All right, back to the show. My Broad Street bottom line is this. We got to get that kind of pitching. It's the pitching staff always for me. It's always been that way when it comes to the pitching staff. I need that kind of pitching on a day-to-day basis, and we've been getting that for the better part of 3 or 4 years. That has masked a lot of the problems with the offense. And now that it seems to be rounding back into form, and Zach Wheeler with another dominant performance, in 3-0 now, right? Another dominant performance. Christopher Sanchez being what he's being, and Luzardo being what he can be, and Painter hopefully what he can be, makes me feel a lot better that what we experienced in April at 9-19, 10-game losing streak, all that stuff is behind us, regardless of who the manager is, honestly. But now the next question will be, obviously, what can we build upon this? So starting pitching once again rules the day for me, and that is my Broad Street bottom line. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I want to thank once again Big Al's Excuse Emporium and the good folks down there for putting that together for me. That was a pleasant little surprise this morning. That was really funny. Next series against Pittsburgh is in Philly. Yes, it is. That's how that works. Even though they handled the Dodgers in the regular season in the last 4 years. I mean, listen, again, we got to get there, right? But I need a real big week. I need 5-1, 4-2 against Ohio. Matter of fact, I'll be in Ohio next week for a couple days. I may actually catch I was about to say Indians game. I'm going to call them the Indians. Their mama naming the Indians or the Indians. I'm going to probably try to catch a Indians game next week. Painter got to pitch good tomorrow if we want to win. Painter's got to pitch good tomorrow for us confidence wise, man. I need Painter again, man. I need more from Painter. I had a spot on my screen that made it look like I had a nose pierced. Epic song. Thank you. Don't thank me. I didn't make that. Thank the good people down there at Big Al's Excuse Emporium, serving the Delaware Valley since 2024. The Phillies have the best record of baseball since Don Mattingly took over at 15-4. The starters have one of the best ERAs in baseball. The Phillies win back-to-back shutouts. You know, very good. They did. Thanks for saying I'm not old. Well, you're not, man. I mean, you're only a couple years younger than me, older than me. I'm not old, Robert. So by de facto default, you're not old either. Bichette's batting .210. I still take him in a heartbeat. I'd still take Bo Bichette and this team in a heartbeat, man. 6 ways a Sunday and twice on whatever. Once a day through Saturday and twice on Sunday. I would take Bo Bichette in a heartbeat, man. And the Mets ain't over. It ain't over with the Mets. The Mets ain't done. They're going to come back. All right, that's my Broad Street bottom line. Let's now hit round the bases. It's Sunday, and we're going to go around the bases in Major League Baseball today. Games that have gone final. It was 8-0 Rangers on rivalry weekend. 8-0 Rangers over the Astros. It was 4-1 Blue Jays and Tigers. How does that a rivalry? It was 10-3 Guardians over the Reds. Braves over the Red Sox 8-1. That's actually a rivalry. And it was the Orioles 7-3 over the Nationals. The Rays beat the Marlins 6-3. Games that are still unfolding as we speak. They are going to the bottom of the 10th out there in Queens. The Yankees Mets tied up a 6. It is the end of the 8th. They're headed to the 9th inning. It's 7-4 White Sox over the Cubs and 5-3 Brewers in the bottom of the 8th over the Twins, or Twins 5-3 over the Brewers. It is 2-0 Royals over the Guardians as they head to the bottom of the 9th. It's 0-0 Diamondbacks. Rockies are just underway out in Colorado, and it is 1-0 Giants and A's in the top of the 4th. In the top of the 3rd, out in the Big A, it is 3-0 Dodgers over the Angels. And a little bit later on tonight, your Peacock game will be the Mariners in the Padres. And then, of course, here in South Philadelphia, it was 6-0 Phillies over the Pirates. Next stop for the Phillies are back home against the Reds. Nick Loto will be opposed by Andrew Pitt tomorrow. First pitch is at 6:40 at CBP. Be there or be square. And there you have your round the bases and our Broad Street bottom line. Now, let's pause here and answer some more of these comments, and we'll go into the down the Phillies farm segment. No, Mets are done. If they don't want to be winning team again, they need to get rid of Lindor. I disagree. The Mets are not done. Not in this day and age, man. 25 years ago, yeah, they're done. Not when you have 3 wild card opportunities per league. They are not done. And that's just reality, man. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. It's the way it's set up. It's supposed to be like that. The Mets are not done. Now, are they going to have to make a decision here soon? Yeah, probably. But as far as stick a fork in them, no, they're not. That's just the reality of it. And you need to wrap your head around that reality. It's way too early to say that about the Mets. Phillies are technically not, well, technically they're officially not in the playoffs right now. So if the Phillies can do it, the Mets could get hot too. And they may. So to say that they're done, yeah. It's the 6th series win in a row. Yeah. What will Dusty Hoffman take home with him from the day as Philly manager? He said post-game on Saturday, the team will sign a nice bottle of bourbon for him. Well, that's pretty good. Mets are done because they're the Mets. Well, that simply puts it. Yeah, they are trading Lindor, the cancer they'll be running team. Yeah, I mean, trading Lindor might help them, but to say that they're done, I disagree with that. It's not even Memorial Day yet. It's not even Memorial Day yet. All right, so let's head down to Phillies farm. It is Sunday, and it's my favorite time of the week. It's my favorite segment of the week to talk about, and we are going to go down to the Phillies minor league system, and we are going to roll around the 6 levels of Phillies minor leagues, take a look at the position player and the pitcher of the week, and talk briefly about what the teams did, notably for the week. Again, I really enjoy doing this, and let's start as we always do, or what we typically do when they're playing, and that is in the FCL, the Florida Complex League, a.k.a. the rookie leagues, for the FCL Phillies, who were 2-3 last week as they have their season underway. 4-7 now on the season. And if these 2 players look surprisingly similar to the same 2 players from last week, well, that's because they are. Because these 2, once again, had the best weeks of any FCL Philly player. Jack Barker returns for a 2nd straight week as your position player of the week. Jack was drafted in the 13th round last year by the Phillies, picked 401 from Southern Idaho University. He played in 5 games last week, 6 hits, 4 runs, a homer, 2 RBIs, and finished the week with a .316 batting average. And David Hernandez, the Phillies international free agent that they signed in January of 2025 out of Mexico, was once again your pitcher of the week. 1 game, a win, 2.2 innings, no earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, and he finished the week with a 6.75 ERA. I don't know how that's by comparison. I looked at all their ERAs for the week, and that was the best one. Now, it's not really good, but as I said, they were losing some lopsided games this week too. The Yankees Complex League team beat them at 1 point, 20-5 this week. I mean, they were getting smoked in some games. But they were 2-3 overall for the week, 4-7 now on the season. Let's head on. Stay in Florida and move over to the high or low A Clearwater Thrashers. To your position player of the week is Nathan Humphreys. He is the right fielder for the Thrashers. Humphreys was an undrafted free agent by the Phillies in last July 2025. Went to Dallas Baptist University, a Division II school. Humphreys, 4 games, 7 hits, 3 runs, a homer, 3 RBIs, and a very tidy 438 batting average. And your pitcher of the week, Tanner Gershom. He was also an undrafted free agent signing by the Phillies back in August of 2024 out of the United States Military Academy, man. He's a West Pointer. He also arrived to the Phillies through the Trenton Thunder, which is the draft league team that Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball is this draft league that these players can go to and get a little extra work in. And the Phillies signed him from the Trenton Thunder back in 2024. He finished the week with 1 game appeared, 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, and earned run, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, and a 2.25 ERA. 3-3 for the week. 22-16 are the Thrashers now on this season. Moving on up the coast to Jersey and to high A to the Blue Claws, your position player of the week, Nick Biddleson. That's right, Biddleson. He is the 2022 4th-round pick, 135 overall of the Dodgers. He went to Virginia Tech. He was traded to the Phillies in June of 2025 for cash. 5 games, 6 hits, no runs, no homers, no RBIs, but he finished with 300 batting average. And your pitcher of the week, making his 4th appearance as your pitcher of the week for the Jersey Shore Blue Claws, and your back-to-back pitcher of the week is Mavis Graves. Mavis, of course, is a 2022 pick of the Phillies, 6th-round pick number 182 out of Eastside High School in South Carolina. A game, no wins, 5 innings, 2 hits, an earned run, 10 strikeouts, 3 walks, and finished the week with a 1.80 ERA. The Blue Claws were 2-4 on the week, 17-20 for the season so far. Now on the Double-A to the Reading Fighting Phillies. Your position player, Austin Muir, who back in the day, and I remember this, like back in the early 2000s, he was, I remember looking at him out of college. He was really a lot of people were really up on this guy. It didn't really work out for him. He was taken in the 6th round in 2021, 165 overall by the Tigers, and then he ended up, bouncing around the Tiger system. He was a Rule 5 pick of the Phillies. He went to Texas, then was a Rule 5 pick of the Phillies in December of 2025. And he finished the week with a 6 games, 7 hits, 7 runs, 3 homers, 7 RBIs, and a 333 batting average. And your pitcher of the week, Adam Seminaris, the 2020 5th-round pick, pick 141 of the Angels. He signed after being released by the Angels by Seattle in January 25. And then the Phillies signed him in November of 2025 as a free agent. He is out of Long Beach State. He had 1 game appeared, 5 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 7 strikeouts, a walk, and a 0.00 ERA. A really good week for the Blue Claws. They were 5-1, 19-18. Not Blue Claws, Fighting Phillies. They were 5-1, 19-18 on the season. And let's head up and let's finish our run through the minor leagues with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs for your position player of the week, Stuart Baroa. He was originally international free agent signing from the Dominican Republic by the Toronto Blue Jays in July of 2016. He spent about 9 years in the Toronto Blue Jay organization before getting traded to the Dodgers in May of 2025 for cash. And then from there, he was traded to Milwaukee in July of 2025. And then the Phillies acquired him back in April for cash from Milwaukee. He's played 30 games in Major League Baseball with a career 167 batting average. For the Iron Pigs this week, he finished 6 games, 6 hits, 3 runs, a homer, 6 RBIs, and a 273 batting average. And your pitcher of the week, Bryce Wilson, another 2016 original draft pick, 4th round pick 109, was traded to Pittsburgh. I believe he was drafted by, where's it at? I don't know. Let's see where he drafted by. Anyway, he ended up with Pittsburgh in July of 2021. Then he was traded to Milwaukee in January of 2023. Signed by the White Sox in July and 2024 as a free agent. And then the Phillies picked him up in December as a free agent. In his major league stat line, 163 games, 57 starts, 20 wins, and a 333 strikeouts, and a 4.2 career Major League Baseball ERA. Bryce for the week, 2 games appeared, 10 innings pitched, 17 hits, 10 strikeouts, 10 earned runs, a walk, and a 9.00 ERA. You know, Bryce Wilson, Elaine Rangel, those names are names to really keep an eye on, because if things begin to continue to struggle with NOLA, I mean, that's your second wave of help right there. That's it. I don't know if that's something to write home about. Wilson has demonstrated in the past, though, at the major league level, he can at least eat innings. I don't know how effective he is, but he can at least eat the innings. But names like Bryce Wilson, Elaine Rangel, keep an eye on those names, because they may be very important here coming up. A terrible week for the Iron Pigs. They were 1-5. They are now 20-24 on this season. And that is it. Another successful run through the Philadelphia Philly minor league system. And I want to thank everybody for joining me. It's fun. It's always fun to do that. Sanchez, pitcher of the week for the Phillies. Really? You don't think Wheeler deserves it? I worry about the Dodgers and Padres when we face them the next road trip. We were talking about that earlier, Jose. I as well. For Phillies need the win grab here. They got to get. They got 6 games with the 3-3 with the Reds and Guardians. They got a win grab here. They got to do 4-2, 5-1, 6-0, something like that. Man, go out there on that West Coast trip feeling really, really good about themselves, so that we can get absorb a bad road trip if we have to have one. So, but the Phillies win 6-0 today, and they sweep the Pirates. It's on the. We're coming home, and it's the Reds on Monday. Here is your schedule for the rest of today. I'll be back tonight, 10 o'clock, the final word. Matty B is arriving back on Sundays for the final word. And that'll be all your Sunday fun day for the network. This is what's coming up next week on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. I just want to I want you to gravitate towards 2 different shows that we got Thursday, big day. No baseball on Thursday as Phillies have the day off, but we will have at 4 o'clock, we'll have the Birds Blast. The Birds Blast with Kyle Quinn will return as we do our sort of mid-off-season check-in show. And then at 7 o'clock, me and Mike Laro will put a bow on the Flyer season. So as Clear the Ice will come back for its season in review show. And then all the other greatness that's coming up here on the network this week. A lot of final words. I'm here tonight, Monday, Tuesday, and Monday and Tuesday. It's good enough. It's a good way to get started back on that 5-day-a-week trail. But there's your schedule for the rest of the week. And here is your Cincinnati Reds as we will get things going again tomorrow night. This is your Fighting's final lineup for the Reds series. Mike Laro will be in tomorrow. Big Al will be in on Tuesday. And I will be back here Wednesday afternoon for the business person special at Citizens Bank Park. So there is your schedule for the rest of the week of the Fighting's final. And again, 6-0 Phillies with the win. They get the sweep, 1 game over 500. Beautiful pitching efforts from Wheeler today and Sanchez yesterday, and they got enough offense as they're starting to wake up. And it's a good thing. And they pulled themselves out of it, man. 10-game losing streak, 10 games under 500, and they got themselves out of it in 19 games. Pretty impressive. No matter what you think about the Phillies and what I think about them long term, it's very impressive they're able to do that. It seems like the Phillies usually play the Padres well. They do, especially out there. But again, if you're trying to put a gauge, if you will, on this young season, a mark on the wall, so to speak, then these 6 games, those 6 games, 3 against the Padres, 3 against the Dodgers, are a gauge point of the season, right? I mean, we've pulled ourselves out of despair. We're getting good pitching. The hitting's coming around. Now you want to see how they do against sort of the upper crust of the National League. And those 6 games are going to be important, and they're going to be important for the fact that there's a gauge. And I want to see Mattingly manage these games because I know how Thompson would go into these games. He wouldn't care. It's just another game. But I want to see if Don Mattingly puts sort of some emphasis on winning those series or winning or sweeping or not throwing games away. Because I just thought Rob Thompson was just – nothing ever seemed to be like a priority to him. Everything was just, I don't know. It just seemed like nothing mattered. It was just another game. I hate that. Hate it. What's going on, Bruce? How are you today? I feel Mattingly's the top manager already. We are playing the best since Topper got fired. Mattingly was a great manager, man. He's a great manager. I wanted him here for years. Dodgers got some injuries in the rotation right now. They do. But still, 2-time World Series champion Dodgers, man. Until someone else says otherwise, they're the World Series champs. So every time you go up against the champs, you want to bring your best. So I'm going to see. It's going to be a fun West Coast run. Obviously, we're going to feel a lot better. When I saw this thing about a month ago, when I was looking at this Padres-Dodgers hit, I was like, oh no, this is going to be like the death roll of the season. Right there at the end of May. I thought that actually those 2 series were the series that were going to get Topper fired. I honestly thought the Phillies would tread water up to that point, then go out to L.A. and San Diego gets like lose 7 in a row, and then he get fired from that. I think Topper was too laid back, and eventually I think that's one of the reasons what it cost him this team. I think the team was done with him. I do. I think at the end of the season last year, they were like, okay, we've come as far as we can with this guy. They need to make a change. And when they didn't, when the organization did not make a change, they rebelled like a bunch of kids. and got him fired. I'm telling you, I don't understand. And of course, that a lot of the things about, oh, they love him, he's loved. No, apparently he wasn't. Apparently his shtick got old. And what Nick Castellanos said in San Diego, which we all took at that time as, again, sour grapes of a guy that got ran out of Philly, might have been true. It not only might have been his point of view, it could have been the other players too. About saying that it was kind of hard to sort of get up for playing for a manager who'd never been in the major leagues as a player. I just think the sands ran out on him, man. The players stopped not listening because they didn't fear him. They didn't fear accountability. They didn't fear nothing. Nothing was going to upset him. So they did what they wanted. Now, as far as the managerial approaches, yeah, I mean, Schwarber's still batting in that 2-hole. But there's other little changes to this team that I've noticed. A sense of urgency, a sense of accountability on this team. You know, the Phillies have committed 2 errors since Rob Thompson got fired. 2. They committed 19 in the first 28 games. They've committed 2 errors since then in the next 19 games. That doesn't just flip. Something was done there. Either it was the team was throwing games that get Thompson fired, or someone's holding someone accountable now for defense. They've committed 2 errors in the last 19 games under Don Mattingly versus 19 in the first 28 games under Rob Thompson. I mean, I'm telling you, I think there's more to this story. I don't think he was as loved as everybody wants to believe. I think it got old. 4-2. Yeah, I would love that. Honestly, I read the used to call Donnie baseball because he knows so much about the game of baseball. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. The approach of the plate has been better since Donnie took over. It has. Is it possible the players also Topper's fault for Castellanos' situation? I don't know. I mean, listen, we can sit here from the outside looking on that and say that, yeah, but when I look at the Castellanos thing, what was it, 2024, right? The guy played literally every single game of the season to include the playoffs, 175 games or whatever it was, 165, whatever, 66. He played the entire season, never sat a day. And for 3/4 of that season, he stunk. But Topper never took him out of the lineup. And he stuck with Castellanos for the good or the bad of that. And I don't know if that eventually ended up getting him in Dutch with Castellanos for when he finally did take him out of the lineup. And that might have been it too, you know. Topper started reacting to things, maybe from the outside pressures. Why is Castellanos still playing? Why is this still happening? And maybe the players were like, oh, now you're not thinking for yourself. Now you're letting other people influence you. I don't know. I don't know if it was Castellanos per se, but I don't think he was as loved as everybody wants to believe he was. I think they tolerated him because they were winning. But I think after the Dodger series, they were done. And they were like, we need a new voice. And I think they were pissed off when they brought him back. But to say that it's I think the Castellanos situation is a microcosm of what went wrong with Rob Thompson. And maybe a player that voiced his displeasure. Same thing with the Matt Strom thing. You know? What player? I mean, the ball's on a player at the end of a playoff series to say, we don't do PFP here. Right after they lost that game against the Dodgers, to say, oh, we don't do PFP. I'm not surprised he messed it up. The ball's on a player to feel that they have the freedom to say that without being held accountable. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I think that was the attitude that was running rampant inside that locker room. Doesn't matter what we say. Ain't nothing going to happen to us. But I don't know. If Mike Schmidt was playing today in his prime, he could be able to be a top hitter against top hitters. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Yeah. It's the greatest third baseman ever to play. Well, yeah, they had to. You got to trade Matt Strom after that. You can't have that kind of guy. It's bad PR, man. Keep him around. But all right, Phillies win 6-0. I'm going to be done for the day. I thank you for joining us. Once again, we are brought to you by the great folks here over at Big Al's Excuse Emporium. And actually, I'm going to play the commercial again because we're very happy to be sponsored by them now. Officially, we've renewed our contract with Big Al's Excuse Emporium. It will run now through the year 2030. So on the way out today, let's play that commercial again so that we can thank our good friends at Big Al's Excuse Emporium. And then we'll see you. I'll see you on Wednesday, and I'll see you later tonight on the final word. So one more time, the good folks at Big Al's Excuse Emporium. You guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Philly, where every loss has a reason, every collapse has an explanation, and every quarterback is still elite. Welcome to Big Al's Excuse Emporium. On the It's a Rap Sports Network. Woo! Sunday meltdown, phones blowing up. Birds lose again, but they still show love. Too much snow, refs were bad. Coordinator change made the whole team sad. 3 and out, but they scream relax. Defense cook, man, just watch the stats. Quarterback misses wide open throws. Bro, he's top 5, everybody knows. Green Kool-Aid overflowing tonight. Every excuse ready, left and right. No accountability in sight. Just turn the mic up loud. Welcome to Big Al's Excuse Emporium, where the blame gets flipped around. If the season crashes, burning down, they'll still defend the hometown. Big Al's Excuse Emporium, fresh excuses every week. Need more weapons, need more luck. Next year's when we peak. Penalty flags all over the screen. Doesn't matter, bro, we're still a league team. 7 losses after 4-0. Just a phase, man. Trust the flow. Talk radio, chaos, everybody yelling. Postgame space is absolutely melting. Big Al laughing with a cheesesteak plate. Selling playoff dreams at a discount rate. No excuses?